Hi everyone, it's Tara.
And AJ.
And we felt inspired today to do a Facebook Live on conscious coupling, because so many of you have been asking us, like, what are we up to in the world and how are we merging. And a while back we did a video about conscious separation. So we wanted to give you an update and wait for some of you guys to pop in.
Yeah, super excited. Great project for 2017 and beyond. And you know, this is really, I think, this infusion of really all the learnings and experiences that we've had, kind of blending now together. You know, Tara's been on this development path, and we've been on a development path together, but I just came out of my own personal development epic journey, and now over the last couple of weeks we've been merging and blending those learnings, and what's really come to the forefront is something we've been talking about, but now it's all kind of dropped into our hearts, and now we're ready to share it. It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah, it's this conscious coupling. It's, first of all, it is not, I felt guided. I felt so strongly that this is the work that we're here to share, that we're teaching and learning about and living. And it's that relationship, like this idea of conscious coupling. I mean, it's been over this past year, and our work has been around talking about and teaching on how to create affluence, how to create an affluent life from the inside out. And it's not just about money. Our relationships, our love life, the amount of intimacy that we have, the depth of that intimacy is such a key part of having an affluent life, of creating that.
Yeah. Well, I think too, especially supporting, you know, a healer like Tara, Supernova. You know, this isn't just, you know, making sure everything's fine at the home front, that dinner's on the table, you know, everything's good with the kids. You know, when I'm holding this space for a healer, it's just on a whole different level. And what as a man I need to bring the energy and the focus to support her behind the scenes it's really on a different level. And that's the kind of the alchemy, the refining stone that we've really been talking about. This is on a whole different level of consciousness than just, you know, having a good marriage. It's
the highest level.
Yeah.
It's the highest level of leadership. It's because often, I mean, and some of you might get this already, you have a relationship and you're good friends, you're good partners, but we're talking about, like, being absolutely real and honest and awake and saying, okay, I consciously create my reality, and I'm also creating this relationship. So how am I showing up? How am I creating you?
Right.
And how are you creating me?
Right.
And so it's something that I felt super guided that we're here to teach and to lead. And it's also, like, slapped me hard on the face. It is, because it's one of those things that, you know, it's easy to manifest wealth.
Right.
It's easy.
Right.
It's easy. And when it comes to relationships, especially if like for me, I came in with a lot of trauma and just beliefs about not trusting, and just layers of things from childhood. So it was like peeling all of that back, and actually, just when you're in a relationship, taking my part and seeing, like, if there are things how you're showing up, that I'm actually creating that I have beliefs that are creating you showing up in this way.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid to be intimate. I'm afraid to, you know, I don't want to have to. I don't say this on a conscious level. This is what we do on an unconscious level. We create this distraction. And so and you can go ahead and share with us if there's someone here that if you relate, because then we don't have to be really intimate. We don't have to truly step into our brilliance because we're spending all our time thinking about the other partner, how they're not operating on the same level, and they're like all these different thoughts instead of just being crystal clear and doing the work we're here to do.
Right. Yeah, that victim energy when you can blame, a lot of blaming, letting the ego, oh, I'm this way because this happened, and this is the way I am because of my partner, and da da da. I mean that's that self-destructive, that sabotage, the element.
It's super subtle, especially for those of us that we've been doing personal development. And so I wonder if you go ahead and share below if you can relate to this. We'd love to hear from you. If you've been doing personal development for some time and you think, okay, I get that we create our own reality. I understand that. And yet really owning that we do that in partnership. And so conscious coupling, it's the next level of leadership, because you get to really look at like what are those beliefs and how do we create each other. And it's the most amazing, mind-blowing level of leadership really when you dive into sacred sexuality and experiencing the most exquisite bliss and intimacy, and when you're able to, as a couple, consciously create your reality, calling in those things that are aligned with your high purpose. It is the most powerful magic that there is,
Energy,
and
yeah.
it's energy.
Right.
And most of us are only scratching at the surface of it. And so that's what we have. That's what we study. That's what we dive into.
We live, yeah.
That's what we live. And one of the things that we wanted to share is that often when you're on this process of this journey of growth and conscious coupling, sometimes our patterns show up for us.
Yeah. Yeah, this last week, I caught a pattern that was my ego really, there's a certain behavior that I had. My wife wanted me to stop doing something.
Yeah, I was really clear that, so I'll just give you the backstory. We won't dive into the deep, because you could just relate, like if you have a partner that, because I'm clear, like I'm here to surrender to higher self, and I'm clear about our mission. I'm clear about our mission together. And so there was a pattern, a behavior, wasn't part of our mission, huge distraction.
Well, it's just fascinating because I made it, about her and not about me and the pattern. And that's one of the powerful things is when you really start getting real with yourself and being open to surrendering and really just loving yourself, giving yourself lots of love, and you start to be really reflective, and you start to really see and observe how you're showing up at all times. And that's one of the things I caught, this mind virus, that really I had pushed it all on her and made it about her and not me. And just to be able to step through that was very powerful. I mean, and to be able to identify that pattern, that mind virus in me, that she also had some part in, right? But at the end of the day, it was really about me, not her. But my ego was making it all about her. Well, I wouldn't do this if this didn't happen, or everything would be fine if I Well, anyways, I think you get the point. The point being that when we can really back away from our egos, when we can really go deep and really get honest and authentic and not let our emotions dictate how we behave, and just take in feedback, especially from our partners, and look at it and examine all aspects of it. It's just very powerful, and I think that for us, as you know, we come through this last week and kind of vibrating at a new level, being able to incorporate the things that we had learned, but also kind of shift and eliminate some patterns of behavior and
commit to being in higher self.
Yeah, committing to really
holding each other to living in our divine self and seeing each other in divine self. And I saw, I mean, we had a pretty tough couple weeks, and it always happens this way. If for all of you that you're here to live on purpose, and you're here to go to that next level, you're here to create more affluence and abundance in your life. It's effortless. It can be effortless. Yes, we create a life of ease and flow, and then there are also tests.
Yeah, you got to put in the work.
There are also tests, and so we set the intention. The universe said, "This is what we're here to teach and to lead and to empower couples to take their marriages and their love and the lives they're creating to the next level." And so then the universe presented us with a test. And it was interesting because I was driving around and I was so pissed at AJ. so angry with him.
That never happens.
And I mean, to the point where it's like I could choose, I could choose like recommit and go here or this other direction. And it was interesting because, I talk about this all the time. You guys, if you've seen us on the videos or, if you're working with us, we create our own reality. We create our own reality. And I believe that. I see it so much when it comes to abundance. And yet I also had a mind virus because in my mind, it was like, okay, well, we'll have this kind of relationship if he shows up like X. If he does this, then it's this kind of relationship. And I was not taking responsibility that I get to create this reality. I get to choose. And I'm sharing this with you because I hope that as you're listening, you could feel that vibration. You get to choose every aspect of your relationships, the money in your bank account, how you're showing up in your life, like everything. And yet we have blind spots. And so I see it other places, but then here I was like, no, it's up to him and how he shows up. And I was like, wow, I get to create. I get to create. And so, truthfully, there was that, it's easy to just think this is the reality and to be swept into the emotional experience. Not to say that we don't feel those emotions, because I was definitely experiencing and letting them go through me. But we also can, after we feel those emotions, choose. That's what it means to be a conscious creator. And to say, okay, didn't like X, but I recommit and we create the most amazing, loving, passionate relationship on the planet. That's what we choose because I am a creator. And that takes a huge amount of responsibility and ownership to understand the resonance of what I'm sharing with you. And what we've studied and what we teach are the tools. The tools on how to release the blocks, how to show up as a conscious couple, how to clear out anything that's standing between you two.
Well, even when you don't want to, you know, the beauty of what we've experienced and coming through, it's like multiple Phoenix burnings. We've gone through a lot of stuff.
Oh my gosh, we keep on reinventing ourselves.
And I think that the awesome thing is what keeps us on the right path is that we have a shared vision. And, that's, as we put together this program we're going to launch this year on conscious coupling, there's key elements that we've kind of taken a look at all the things that we've gone through, and as we've gone through these different hurdles, what were the key ingredients, the secret sauce to make sure that we came out on the other side. And as we debrief and really look at, okay, how did I show up? Why did I show up this way? And it's a very beautiful process to be able to do that with your, the most important, the most important work we're here to do is co-create, the masculine and the feminine energy together.
Yeah.
And so that's what's real exciting about all this is not necessarily going through the process, but coming out the other side, and then
it's the higher level of leadership,
and also being able to surrender and not let your ego take you off course and off track. And for me, that was one of the things that I really saw as this pattern where I would blame Tara for how I was showing up certain ways, but at the end of the day, I wasn't taking ownership and accountability. I wasn't the CEO of my life in these different aspects. Oh, if it hurt my feelings, then I would go a different path. Or if it, how could she say that? Oh, then I would go this way. And really just those little mind viruses and being able to, really extract that, pull it out by the root, and release it. It's just been, wow, just a powerful process for me. And even Tara could feel it and see it, where we didn't have a lot of discussion about it.
I could see him drop in to his divine self.
Yeah, it's just
and hold that space.
Yeah, it's real exciting.
It's super cool, and often, like, if some of you are watching this and you're wondering, okay, like, I'm in, like, I want this, but I have a partner that's not necessarily on the same page. The first thing is to accept and to see your part and how you've created your partner in that way, and that you can create differently. It's holding that vision of the relationship that you desire and how you want your man or your woman to show up in your life. And it's because we create first spiritually. And so many of you have asked, like, kind of like, even coming here, and we've done some pretty amazing transformational journeys together. And we came from a pretty conservative background. And, it's like, well, how did, we eat pretty much vegan, and how do we go from, like, steak eating, big ribeye, to, shifting our life around. And some of that it's having that shared vision. That's number one. And then personally, you having the vision of what you're creating, because he or she who's most convicted in the dream is the one who leads the dream. So it's your energy, and so if you believe that, well, this isn't possible because this person, my partner, is at this place, that's what you're creating. That's what you're creating. And I've seen that with our clients, miracles. Miracles in relationships and shifts, when one person starts releasing their blocks and shifts and changes their vision, then the other one comes around, and it's a miracle.
Right.
It's amazing, and it's just what happens when you shift your beliefs and your energy. So.
And at the same time, there's all these paradoxes, but one of the key things with conscious coupling is the little things as well. The small affections.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So part of the thing one of the things we learned this week, so we're going to just share it all, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, because we've downloaded all of this, like, this is the whole framework. This is it. This is what it means to consciously couple. And I'm also really clear in terms of being in integrity of, okay, this is what it means, and this is how I'm feeling right now, and not feeling super super conscious and definitely not feeling like we're coupling. So this has been the past couple weeks. And then, I went to bed and I woke up the next morning and, connected to higher self, and I realized that actually it's not like we need to do 50 things to be here in terms of consciously coupling. It's just these two things. If we do these things, everything else shifts. and so we did that.
Yeah.
We did that, and then it all shifted. So it's actually just asking yourself, when you think about like your vision, either if you're in relationship, what is your vision of your ideal partnership, of what conscious coupling means to you? What is that? So really feeling into that vibration and that hope and creating that, and then what's the one thing you can do right now that would shift it? One thing you can do right now, because you are creating your partner to be that way. And so that's one thing. And if you don't have a partner right now, that's one of the things, the patterns that we see with our clients that come in and working with us and they don't have a partner. As they release the blocks, they meet that love of their life, even if they've had lots of bad relationships in the past, because they shift. So for you, if you don't have a partner, asking yourself, like, what is that ideal love that you want to bring, that soulmate into your life right now? And what would your life be like? How would that feel? Just asking yourself that. And what's the one thing you can do, the action you can take right now to step into that vibration?
And I think what's really powerful too is, as you look at that ideal partner, how do you measure up to that list of whatever it is? Are you showing up as that partner?
Yeah.
And that's a great place to start on your list.
Yes. Yeah, starting. And the
Doesn't
thing
get,
is,
it's not complicated,
yeah.
you know?
That's how we shift. That's how we shift our energy. So super powerful. So we just wanted to, if you have any questions, I don't know if we can actually see questions on here. I think you can if you see it on your, we kind of have a different
I
platform.
know where my,
Oh, your phone is? Yeah, we have lots to share about the ins and outs and going deep with conscious coupling.
it's going to be so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I think, what's really cool about this process is, we don't have it all figured out, but I'll tell you that I just feel just so light, and we've been in this relationship 19 years, I think 18 this year, and we're, so 19 total, and it just keeps getting better the more committed we are to it, and the more open we are. And I just go back to our shared vision that we spent the time and invested. It was a good, 24 hours total.
2 nights.
Yeah,
We spent.
3 days, 2 nights, and
We went to the Four Seasons.
invested in really kind of shaping that path for our destiny, and it really has actually pulled us in that direction.
It's
Everything that, if I go back and look at the overarching vision and the 6 pillars, everything about that the universe has brought to us
We're living it.
in sometimes painful ways, because sometimes we're not ready for it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to step up your energy, you got to step up your game.
To,
If you really want to have an extraordinary life,
yeah.
you really got to be ready for that.
An extraordinary relationship.
Right.
Yeah. So conscious coupling, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. What we're talking about, it's the highest level of partnership and leadership, and those that are ready for that next level. It's those couples that are merging in the divine feminine, divine masculine, and I believe that are here to lead to create a ripple effect on this planet, because it's been skewed. We've had feminism, we've had patriarchy, we had matriarchy, and it's really merging where we don't have to, as women, be all in our masculine, that we can tap into that divine feminine. And it's really about just being connected, so tapped in to our higher self, and leading from that place. And when we're from that place, we create abundance, we create in our business, everything from a place of flow. It can be so easy when you have the tools. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're all about. And if there's anything that, if you're ready to take that next step in leadership, if you're ready to take that next step in your life, if you're ready to let go and move past whatever is getting in your way, so you can live absolutely at that next level of purpose, then PM me or PM AJ, and we'll lay out a map for you, because we have the map.
Awesome. Lots of love.
Pura vida.